It's okay.
Northwestern Bristol County in southeastern Massachusetts, east central
Let me go to the bathroom. We can go downstairs and watch TV down there, okay?
Okay.
Let me go to the bathroom.
At 5:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Pawtucket, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. Hazards include tornado. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and
Wow.
will occur.
To the basement.
That's what real sideways lightning. We better go downstairs. This is weird.
I'm scared.
You don't have to be scared. We're down cellar.
Keep TV on.
What?
Keep TV on so we know alerts.
So Courtney, we're under tornado warning. We've got some very strange sideways lightning happening. Let me get the heat on.
Alright, judges, pumpkin pie spiced cheesecake.
I think this is that pie.
And I'm getting it.
I can't read it.
As I mentioned, goes up here towards Mansfield, stretches back towards Attleboro, and goes over towards Taunton. It's really because of what's going on in this area right through here that I'm watching. So you watch this area here. Now let's switch over to velocity. We've been watching that a little bit. See, here's what I'm looking at. All right, this is the reason that
When's
this
it
warning
end?
was issued right now. If you look at this area here, I'm gonna put the center of your screen so you get a better idea of what's happening. But you see that area right
Yeah,
there?
so you guys need to
That's where I
watch.
would
They're
expect to
saying
see
by
some rotation taking place at this
5:45,
point.
maybe the
That's
warning will
why
be
that's in a
over.
tornado warning until
It's sweeping right
5:45.
over
And
Taunton,
that's
Dayton,
the area that
everyone.
was, now let's zoom in because many of you are probably in that area and you're probably keeping a very close eye on it. And see how you're seeing a lot of light colors next to some darker colors? Typically we would see reds next to greens, but this whole thing is moving so fast, we actually are looking kind of like at white colors next to it. So this area through here, if you're familiar with that area at all, it's south of Attleboro a bit. Headed over towards Rehoboth, but I would put the timing on this one to move it really more over towards, in fact, let me put a tracker onto this one, because I know you're probably wondering, all right, when is it going to get to Boston kind of thing. So let's take a look at that. We'll stop the radar for just a moment, kind of zoom in here just a tad.
So like it's gonna end
And,
eventually?
put a tracker on
Yeah.
that. And now that line has gotten
Until
a lot more broken,
5:45.
but I'm just going to put a
Oh,
tracker
it's like in
on
like
just
2
to give you a
minutes.
rough idea. That would put it into, around Boston, right around 6 o'clock tonight. It's not it is showing some signs to me of weakening just a little bit, not a lot, but enough that I'm keeping a close eye on what's happening with that into Boston. I just want to, for a moment here, zoom in and take a look at Boston. So we've got some light rain going on. You get up towards 128, you're starting to get a little more downpours going on. Head up towards Holliston, it's getting a bit more. And then as you get towards Milford, Franklin, over towards Mansfield, down to Attleboro,
What?
that's
Just
where I'm
getting
seeing the
up, walking
heaviest
around.
activity. And it's getting towards Rehoboth. I'm really keeping a close eye
What?
on that one
I'm
right
just
now.
walking around.
It looks like severe thunderstorm warning had been canceled now for Worcester County. As we're seeing, a lot of that activity has gone down.
Don't
So
trip
that
on your
has
father's
dropped
feet.
considerably in activity. I just want to show you why that was dropped. Notice how we're just not really seeing, we're seeing a lot
We've
of
had this
kind of
situation
thing.
before.
We're
No.
probably no doubt already
You
hearing
need
some
to get
rumbles
in
of
your
thunder off
basement.
the
They're
west
saying
coast
right
of
now
the
it's
This line
almost
marches
to
its way
Taunton
eastward.
now. They're concerned
That's the
about
one
it.
I'm most concerned with. Now that tornado warning we have goes from until 5:45.
What about
so we're
Dayton?
going another 6 or 7
Yeah.
minutes. I would not be surprised if this is kind of extended more over in this direction, just based on what we're seeing on radar right now. But it may be dropped a little bit more to the south. So Middleborough as well. You should be keeping a very close eye out for the cell as it works its way eastward. Right now you're getting some heavy downpours in there, but you're probably going to be getting more out of it before else. Now let me take a look at the
That's
velocity
hail.
scan. I'm not picking up any big rotation going on at this point. Again, we have the severe thunderstorm
Scared.
warning up here. We have a tornado warning here. There
You're
is
very
perhaps
secure
a
here.
little bit of activity going on with it, kind of broad
Can hail
rotation
break
more than
glass?
anything else. Not a really concentrated one that would
but not the hail.
a tornado on the ground or anything like that. But this line has gotten very strong here. Just in the last couple of
Scared.
seconds, you can see how it's really turned into the dark purples that you see. That
This
indicates to be
salad-
a very
salad is
powerful
in the
storm that
box.
we're talking about.
But
So
with the rest of the house is on
which is
top
in
of
this
us.
area here,
Yeah, I know, I
really
don't.
don't think
But
you're
I'm saying
dealing
yes.
with too much of this around Attleboro or Rehoboth at all, back toward Pawtucket. The warning technically is still there, but really it's this leading edge that I'm most concerned with at this point, and that's why it's into Taunton. Now, this tornado warning, as I mentioned, goes until 5:45, only about another 6 or 7 minutes.
Good,
so
let
what
it
will be
pass.
interesting to see is if this is actually extended farther.
This can be on
or we'll
YouTube.
see into a severe thunderstorm warning with a possibility of a spin up going on. So that's what the latest is on it. We're going to keep a very close eye on that line as it marches its way eastward. Again, this is all in a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:30. Does it include Boston? Well, it's very close. It's, you know, I mean, by the time you get to Brookline and west, it probably is. So technically the city may not be into it quite yet, but the western suburbs certainly are in the severe thunderstorm warning. What can you expect if you're in this box? Very gusty winds. Heavy downpours. There's going to be some ponding in the roads. A lot of leaves out there as well.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
look out at
dangerous.
128,
They're
and you can see a
concerned
lot of
right
traffic
now. They
out
want
there right
everybody
now.
in their
It may be
basement
slowing
till it
down
passes.
dramatically
They're
as
thinking
that water starts
5:45
pushing its
it'll
way in.
pass. I don't
The
know. I'm
other thing,
hearing
we have a
hail.
lot of reports
We're
here today, in
downstairs.
addition
I
to
just
the
want
spin-ups
this thing to be
going on,
over
we
with.
also
We've
have a lot
never
of
had
reports
weather
of
like this
hail
ever.
out there. And sometimes just
Well,
a
at least it's not a
very
combination of
small hail
2 weeks
coming in.
ago.
But we've had enough of that going on out there that could actually make a few slippery spots out there. So you'll be cautious about that. So as you look over 128 right now, you're seeing the occasional flash of lightning every once in a while. See a lot of traffic out there. Now, as I warned you, it's going to be slowing down dramatically, I think, as this line pushes its way eastward. So this is what we have going on right now. It looks like, yeah, we're still continuing that tornado
What
warning box
EF is
over
gonna
towards
be?
Taunton, and that's the area that I'm really concerned
No,
with
it's
right now.
not.
It's just
Oh,
really
EF
the
0?
Taunton area at this point.
Right now,
I'm
this
not
is a
seeing lot of
warning.
rotation
It's not
going on, but again,
there's no
this is one of those things where we're
spotted
talking about
tornado, yeah.
the radar is starting to show. The radar beam itself is actually getting hit by all the rain that's going on there, and so we sometimes will lose some of that velocity that we're looking at. But there's still quite a bit of activity going on. I'll kind of have to wait for it passing through. But you saw just on what we call reflectivity.
Uh-oh,
there's
we're
a
in
lot of
Hart now.
activity right now going on around Taunton. There's one of the radar sites right there. We're kind of scanning through it. As we go through it, we slice into this.
We're
and
in the
allow you to
Hart,
look in there and
guys.
find out what's going on.
GG.
Darker colors indicate to you that we have heavier rains going on. Perhaps we have some hail going on with it as well. And sometimes that gives even a bigger signal coming back at us to showing what's going on. So this is the tornado warning I mentioned. It is still in effect here for about another 4 minutes or so. And we're going to keep an eye on that one to see what happens. The severe thunderstorm warning, which goes way out here to the west, that continues at least until 6:30 tonight. And this is what we're talking about here. Severe thunderstorm warning, but also the possibility of seeing some rotation even within that area. And that's the reason we kind of highlight a little bit more that we would just do a typical severe thunderstorm warning that you might see during the summer.
Rain and
In the summer, it would be
What?
gusty winds
It's showing rain and center.
and so that's the area right there. So we're going to watch this for just about another 3 or 4 minutes to see if that tornado warning is going to be continued. And Sean and Nathalie, have you got any reports in from around the area at all?
Yeah, we were talking about that weather that we were seeing in Pawtucket with our Emily Maha down there on the scene. We actually are seeing some of this video right now. You can see we were talking about that wind as well as that rain. You can see it is going in that diagonal direction there. It's pretty strong. So obviously these are going to be some concerns as people are heading out. You know, this is the same system. You've been talking about this, Mike, that did a lot of damage in New York as well. And we've already seen the video from New York with huge trees topple down on cars. And so this is not a system that you want to mess around with. You want to make sure that you're inside at this point because, you know, even
Is the worst
though we
part
do
over
have,
us now?
that
think
tornado
so.
warning, you know, even
No,
just a
there's been
severe
rain then.
thunderstorm warning.
Oh, dang, that wasn't that bad.
As well, Mike.
And
Oh,
Sean, you know, as we
nothing.
look at those pictures
You
there,
go
we're
upstairs,
talking,
the whole house is
it brings
gone.
up the point that we have
No.
a lot of rain. A lot of areas have lost a lot of
they're
leaves
saying
over the last couple of
Boston,
days, especially
they-
south of the Pike.
they
where
did
the
not have a
temperatures
tornado.
were coming
It's
up.
already
And so that's
past us
clogged up some
anyway.
storm drains. So you know the usual spots. You know, in New Bedford and Fall River, there are some low areas that are probably going to fill up with some water very quickly. That's why I say be cautious if you're driving around as well.
Yeah, and Mike, we saw some video too coming out of Providence, Rhode Island.
Looks like they're warning
we're seeing that
Rainham
rain
Center
coming
now,
down, that
so it's
wind that
fast
we're seeing
moving.
here
It
as
should be
well.
away from
In
us
Pawtucket,
soon.
Rhode
It's just
Island, what
really
is the latest
scary. I
on
can't
this,
wait. I'm in the
this
basement. I'll have to go
warning
up and see
right
what the
now?
hail
Looking
looks
at
like.
5:45, 6:15 for some ants.
Yeah, we still have
Corny
a
says they're getting pelted with hail now.
We have a severe thunderstorm warning with the
Well, at least it's
possibility
kinda
of
past
the tornado
us.
spinning up
Tiny
into
bit.
that warned area
got
until
hail.
6:45. So
A
it
few
is
more
a
minutes, it
large
should be
area
out
that
of
we're
here.
talking about. We've been watching for rotation going on all afternoon.
At least we're not in
dramatic stuff
Indiana.
going over Long Island, Rhode Island.
What?
At least we're not in Indiana.
No, we don't want to get
This way
used to it.
Rhode Island, and kind of
This
look
area
at-
never had tornadoes.
No,
Because of global
this.
warming.
Right now, just about ready to approach Brockton, but going all the way down towards Raynham. This has not quite gotten into Boston just yet, although that severe thunderstorm warning that you see right there.
Look at how
does
fast
go
it's
until
moving.
6:30.
40 miles an
By
hour, you
6:30, Most of this is going to be offshore. It's just how fast
That's what I'm
this thing
saying.
is moving.
That's why
It
there's
continues to march
less
its way
chance
off to the
of
northeast now.
It's
At
moving
about
so
40 miles
fast.
per hour. Those are the regions that we're most
I
concerned
mean,
with
to
at this
spin to
point.
form.
And that's the red box
I got a
area
question.
that we're talking about.
Does
before
Auntie
the warning.
experience
Still
this,
in
like,
effect
every
for another
month?
2 minutes or so.
Quite
I'm gonna
often.
check over
They have
our
alarms that
computers
go
here
off.
just to see if they're
That's
actually
even more
thinking about
scary.
extending
I mean, it's
or
useful,
moving a
but
little
scary.
bit. We're in direct contact with the National Weather Service, who issues these warnings, and they'll give us an idea of what's going to be happening with it. So it looks like as we look at it, they're still deciding what they're going to be doing with that one. I would not be surprised, however, if that is extended, and especially the southern edge. Let me stop the radar for a second here. And I see this area here now that you look at from Taunton down through really kind of down Somerset, kind of that area.
That's
through
near
there.
us.
That's
Yeah.
the strongest area that I'm seeing at this point.
us, really.
But again, it's all that whole line that we're watching right now as it marches its way off to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So it's very active. It does look like, let's see, we're seeing some rearrangement now of a few things going on here. We still have this particular tornado warning going on here until 5:45, so just another minute or so that we'll keep an eye on that one. So we'll see if that box disappears. I think that box will disappear because most of the activity is going around. Now, I want to show this to you. If you look really carefully here, now this is kind of, again, you're probably...
You'll know, you'll get warnings. Well, let's thank God we have a basement.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll plug this in.
All right,
Jeff,
let's see the
when it comes
damage.
off.
So
Let's see. It's gonna be. Nothing happened.
well, it's always good to take a precaution, buddy.
Thank God.
Anything
Oh,
else?
look at the hail all over the sidewalk by the grass.
Oh,
Huh, it's all along the rim.
All
Look,
right,
this
then.
got pulled down.
I guess I'll be upstairs.
Yep.
Well, that was something. Okay then. Love you.